From 2018 to 2023, Aaron Donald wasn't just dominant, he was unstoppable. He faced double teams on nearly half of his pass rushes and still created more pressure than anyone in the league, over 117 quarterback pressures while being doubled. That's 33 more than the next closest defender. He made quarterbacks panic, offensive lines crumble, and fans, they just watched in disbelief. But Aaron Donald didn't play angry. He played like he had something to prove. Every snap felt personal, like the guy under center had insulted him before kickoff. And the scary part, that wasn't even the most intense thing about him. Before Aaron Donald became one of the most feared players in the NFL, he was just a kid growing up in Pittsburgh, and nobody saw him coming. Coaches didn't line up for his autograph in high school. Scouts didn't drool over his highlights. In fact, most of them dismissed him with a glance. Too short, too small, not fast enough. At just 6 feet tall and under 280 pounds, he didn't look like a future NFL defensive tackle. He barely looked like a college starter. But what they didn't see was the quiet fire he carried and where it came from. Every morning, long before the sun came up, Aaron was already working. At 4:30 a.m., while most kids his age were still sleeping, he was in his basement training with his father, Archie, a former college football player whose own NFL dreams were crushed by injury. For Archie, building Aaron wasn't just about football, it was about building a mindset. If the world underestimates you, let them. Just make sure they regret it. By the time Aaron was 12, he was already obsessed with discipline. He kept a tight schedule, tracked his meals, studied tape like it was homework. Not because anyone told him to, because he knew that nobody was going to hand him anything. And deep down, he also knew something else. If he wanted to make it, he'd have to break every mold. He wasn't trying to be the biggest. He was going to be the most relentless. But even as he transformed into a teenage powerhouse, the calls from big schools weren't coming. Recruiters kept passing him over. One coach even told him directly, "You're not built for the next level." That kind of rejection would break most players. For Aaron, it only added fuel. And it worked. He finally got one offer from the University of Pittsburgh, a local school that took a chance on a kid who refused to quit. But as he stepped onto that college field, no one, not even his biggest supporters, could have predicted what he was about to do next. Aaron Donald didn't walk into college as a 5-star recruit. He didn't have media hype or flashy endorsements. But the moment he put on a Pitt uniform, something changed. Not just in how he played, but in how people felt when they watched him. He was faster off the line than guys 40 pounds lighter. His hand technique looked like it came from a seasoned NFL vet. And most importantly, he never ever took a play off. Coaches at Pitt started realizing they weren't just dealing with a hard worker. They had a problem on their hand for everybody else. By his senior year, Aaron wasn't just good. He was destroying everyone in sight. Offensive lines had to plan their entire week around him. He won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, the Chuck Bednarik Award, the Lombardi Award, and the Outland Trophy, all in one season. That kind of clean sweep had scouts scrambling to rethink what they thought they knew about him. But still, the doubts crept in. He was too short. His arms were too short. He didn't look the part. During the NFL Combine, he ran a blazing 4.68 40-yard dash, faster than some running backs, and benched 225 pounds 35 times. Even then, some teams still hesitated. When the draft finally came, he wasn't taken in the top 5 or even the top 10. He was picked 13th overall by the Rams, a team that needed help, but maybe didn't realize they just drafted the most dominant defensive player of his generation. Because once he got into the league, it was like all that rejection had built up into something terrifying. And the league wasn't ready for it. Wasn't ready. Aaron Donald didn't show up in the NFL talking trash or chasing cameras. He wasn't flashy. He didn't care about headlines. What he did care about was proving every doubter wrong, one snap at a time, and it didn't take long. In his rookie season, he racked up 9 sacks as a defensive tackle. That's a position where sacks are supposed to be rare. That same year, he was named Defensive Rookie of the Year, and veterans across the league were already saying what analysts couldn't quite admit yet. This guy was different. He was quiet in interviews, calm on the sidelines. But when the ball was snapped, something switched. It was like he became a different person. Explosive, violent, surgical. His first step was so fast it looked like he knew the snap count better than the quarterback. And when offensive linemen tried to stop him with double teams, he just split them like they weren't there. One teammate described it best: it's like watching a bear that's been trained in martial arts. But while Donald was gaining a reputation as one of the most terrifying players on the field, few people knew what was fueling that fire and how much pressure he was carrying behind the scenes. Because for Aaron, every sack, every hit, every domination of another grown man wasn't just about football, it was personal. And it all went back to where it started, with the one person who had trained him to survive in a world that said he wasn't built for this. Long before the Pro Bowls and the Super Bowl ring, Aaron Donald was just a kid chasing the dream his father never got to live. Archie Donald had all the talent. He was a promising football player with real NFL potential, until a devastating knee injury ended everything. That dream died early, but Archie never let it disappear. Instead, he passed it on to his son. And Aaron? He didn't take that lightly. From the time he was a child, he trained like his life depended on it. Because in some ways it did. His father didn't just coach him, he built him. Every 4:30 a.m. workout in their basement wasn't just about football. It was about rewriting the family story, one that had stopped short and now had a second chance through Aaron. But with that dream came pressure, quiet, constant pressure to succeed, to be perfect, to make it all worth it. And when money started coming in, that weight only grew heavier. Aaron wasn't just playing for himself, he was playing for his family, his city, his father's unfinished story. Even as he became a star in LA, you could feel it. He wasn't celebrating like someone who made it. He was surviving it. Every game was another reminder that he couldn't afford to slow down, couldn't afford to let up, because in his mind, falling short wasn't an option. But the same fire that pushed him forward was starting to burn everything around him. To the outside world, Aaron Donald looked invincible, a machine, a nightmare for quarterbacks, the kind of player you only see once in a generation. But inside that armor was a man locked in an all-out war, not just with opponents, but with himself. His training was legendary. Teammates said it bordered on obsession. In the offseason, while most players rested or traveled, Aaron was locked in, was flipping tires, sprinting with resistance bands, dragging sleds in 100-degree heat. He trained like the season never ended, like he couldn't stop, because to him, greatness wasn't just a goal, it was survival. He pushed his body to the edge, he pushed his mind further, he cut out distractions, stayed off social media, sacrificed friendships, relationships, peace. His life was built around dominance, yes, and everything else came second. And slowly it started to show. Whispers of burnout began to surface. Reporters noticed his mood changing, his interviews grew shorter, colder, and behind closed doors, people close to him started to wonder, how long could anyone really keep this up? He was still dominating on Sundays, but the cost of perfection was stacking up. Aaron had built himself into a monster, but even monsters get tired, and in 2022, something happened that no one expected, not from him. Even the greatest have their breaking points. For Aaron Donald, that pressure to be perfect, to never lose, never falter, started to take a heavy toll. By 2022, rumors began swirling, whispers about injuries that weren't fully disclosed, speculation about his mental and emotional state. Some insiders hinted at tensions with the Rams organization, while fans noticed something unusual. Aaron's public appearances were fewer, his social media posts cryptic. The man who once seemed unstoppable suddenly felt distant, almost unreachable. Behind the scenes, those closest to him spoke quietly about burnout, the kind that doesn't just hurt your body, but your spirit, the kind that makes even the most driven question why they keep going. At one point, reports suggested Aaron was close to walking away from football altogether. At the peak of his career, the shockwaves sent fans and analysts scrambling to make sense of the story unfolding off the field. What caused it? Was it the physical pain, the mental exhaustion, or something else entirely? One thing was clear: the pressure to be the best didn't just challenge his opponents, it challenged Aaron Donald himself. Just when it seemed like Aaron Donald might fade away, something remarkable happened. A comeback that stunned fans and critics alike. After months of silence, recovery, and soul-searching, he returned to the field stronger, sharper, and hungrier than ever. But this wasn't just a physical comeback, it was mental. Aaron had confronted the dark moments that threatened to derail his career and emerged with a renewed sense of purpose. In the 2023 season, he picked up right where he left off, dominating the line of scrimmage like a man possessed. Opponents doubled him again and again, but he still found ways to win those battles, proving he was more than just strength or speed. It was his relentless mind, his ability to outthink and outwork everyone else that set him apart. The comeback wasn't just about stats or awards. It was about showing the world that even the fiercest warrior faces battles behind the scenes. And true greatness is about fighting through them. Aaron Donald's story reminds us all, no matter how powerful you seem, the real victory is in rising again when everything tries to hold you down. Aaron Donald's journey is far from over. What started as a kid nobody wanted has turned into a legacy that's reshaping football itself. He's not just one of the best defensive players ever. He's a symbol of relentless grit, of proving the impossible is possible. Coaches, teammates, and rivals alike now talk about him with a mix of awe and respect, knowing his name will be spoken for decades. But beyond the records and trophies, Aaron's story is a reminder that greatness comes at a cost. The battles he's fought, on and off the field, reveal a truth few want to admit. Behind every superstar is a story of sacrifice, struggle, and sometimes pain. What's next for Aaron Donald? Will he keep redefining what it means to dominate? Will the pressures finally ease, or will the fire keep burning? One thing is clear: whatever comes, Aaron Donald's impact will be felt long after the final whistle blows. Because he didn't just break the mold, he shattered it. If Aaron Donald's story showed us anything, it's that greatness isn't given. It's earned, fought for, and sometimes painfully won. What part of Aaron's journey surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you want more stories that dig deeper than the headlines, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because there's plenty more to uncover. Thanks for watching. And remember, it's not just about how hard you hit, but how hard you can keep fighting.